Neil, do these two European games come at a good time for you, or would you prefer to be still playing Premiership rugby?
I think due to a number of injuries we've got, it's a good opportunity to have a break from the Premiership so we can get our full squad back on their feet for participation in the Premiership, which is our main objective this year. So it also presents another opportunity for some guys to get some game time, to freshen up the squad and give guys an opportunity.
Yeah, because last year you used games like this in the European Cup to try out the fringe players and new tactics. You're saying you'll do similar this year, will you?
Yeah, I think so. The first Premiership games we were clear with the side we'd put out, and there would be little rotation there, and that's been very difficult for some of the other players to take. They play the A-League fixtures and do really well, so it's their opportunity now to state why they should be in the main team.
You didn't get the result you wanted under the Irish, but the performance was vastly improved. Was it important to finish that series of Premiership games with something to build on like that?
It was a real top performance. The result belies the performance, I think, for those that watched it, that were there live, because unfortunately we only got just over 64 minutes of the game because the camera system broke down, and that footage is lost. But it was a great performance. There's not many games where defensively you'll make 117 tackles, miss 8 and concede 4 tries. Irish were clinical with their opportunities, and we were not given best opportunities because there were some poor decisions made by the players, but the men in the middle as well.
You scored 3 tries against, I think, the team that got the best defence in the league, or certainly you're going into that game. So is the team taking a lot of confidence that they're starting to develop that cutting edge a bit more?
Look, we played with a lot of intensity and a lot of physicality combined. We'd been compromised in our training because of the number of injuries we'd had, so we couldn't do that in training. There's a definite carry forward into the game. In terms of intensity, we've been there, but that decision making under physicality as well, we were just off the pace in those first 4 games. We put that right because we changed, and because that was the last Premiership game before a 2-week break from the Premiership. We combined that physical and intensity in the week, and that showed in the game. It was a much better performance. The guys scored 3 good tries, lots of positives to come out of it, and we look forward to get back into the Premiership, but for now we're looking forward to the trip to Bucharest.
One negative from that game was the injury to Danny Porney's ribs. How serious or not is that turned out to be?
Well, thankfully it's not as serious as we thought. Danny was obviously out for 8 months last season. He's worked extremely hard to get back, and unfortunately after 20 minutes of rugby he's got a slight knock, but he should be back in time for the next Premiership games.
Bucharest, you played them last season. Does that help kind of going over there and knowing what kind of facilities and venue you're playing and things like that? Does that help you?
It does in a way, because a lot of the guys are familiar with it, but playing at a different time of the year, they'd have moved on with their game. I think they've lost a few players, mainly the squad we played last year. I suppose the lesson that the players would have took from last year is, if you think you're just going to go there, turn up, play and win, then you're mentally in the wrong place. So I'm sure this week we'll go out and hopefully we can match the performance at the weekend, then we'll get the result we want.
For people that haven't been lucky enough to go over there, what is it like in terms of the facilities, the pitch and things like that?
The pitch is fantastic. It's where the national team play, so it's a good facility. They do everything they can to accommodate you. It's a good after in terms of the hospitality. But what they are is a physical bunch of players. We need to match that physicality, better it, and then we'll get where we want to be.
Last year York was quite a key turning point where you started getting the wins on the board and getting the better performances. Do you believe it can do the same for you this season?
Well, absolutely. We'll freshen up the team. they'll hopefully take their opportunity. It's important that we get a win, our first win of the season. Then we can take that to Stade Francais, on to Sale, and then Ross at home.
And how important overall is this tournament for you?
Not going to tell any lies. Main objective is consolidation, doing better than we did in the Aviva Premiership than last year. So this is a means to an end. It's an opportunity for players to put down a marker personally and as a team, and challenge for places in our first pick team.